These GeoGuessr players have been accused of cheating in multiplayer ranked duels, either using scripts which tell them the location or using external help like Google. I'm going to be using the new investigations mode to watch replays of their gameplay and decide if they are cheating. New case incoming. Right off the bat, this is somewhere in Asia. It looks like it's probably Korea. Let's see how they handle the round. Zooming in a little bit, looking around. Yeah, so we see the Korean language with the circles in it there. Area codes are useful in Korea. They're moving around a bit. Haven't seen anything too suspicious so far. Zooming in on that street sign. Let's see how long they look at this street sign because, oh yeah, this is a little suspicious. They're not scanning on the map or anything like that. They haven't moved in a little bit. They're moving around again now. Korea is a pretty difficult country to region guess in. Yeah, there's the name of the road. Wouldn't be particularly useful unless you knew what region this was. Yeah, I mean, really, the only appropriate way to use a street name like that is to be actually scanning. Oh, looks like they can't even find Korea. Okay, they found it. And the only really appropriate way to be using a street name like this is to be kind of scanning the map for it. Since they kind of are looking at it so long and not scanning the map, that makes me think that they might have switched to Google and are looking at it. Okay, and then they click on a road here. If this is the right road, I'm going to be very skeptical. Yeah, it looks like it is the right road. There's that same name. And let's see how close they end up. Oh, wow. That's impressive. No, I'm pretty sure this is Googling. Let's see. Yeah, so they click when they are at this zoom level, I think. Let's see if they zoom in any further. Yeah, so they click here. And this is a classic example of, like, at this zoom level, you can't actually see the name of this street. So the only way that they possibly could have known that it was exactly this street from this zoom level is if they were comparing it to a map that they found on Google. So this one's pretty cut and dry. They Googled. Don't think they scripted, but they definitely Googled. All right, let's do the next one. Okay, this is an interesting one right off the bat. Not exactly sure where this is. No move this time. Let's see what they do. Zooming around, looking at the antenna. I think this is probably Russia. Yeah, they're looking at copyright maybe. Zooming in. Yeah, we have concrete poles everywhere. Does look like Russia to me. Kind of moving around weirdly. Yeah, zooming in on the antenna makes sense. It's one of the most useful clues in Russia. I'm not sure exactly where this one is. But yeah, they're looking around. They're looking at the trees. Spending a good amount of time investigating the round. Haven't seen anything suspicious yet. Zooming into the area around St. Petersburg. That could be possible. Yeah, and then they're not even that close. I don't think this is suspicious at all. It's not even that amazing of a guess. I mean, if they had 5K'd that, I would have been very skeptical, but given that they weren't that close, and they probably just used the antenna to get Western Russia there, I didn't see anything suspicious, so I'm gonna go ahead and say not guilty. All right, right off the bat, this is Indonesia. We are driving left, and we have tin roofs, so I would guess this is probably Sulawesi, maybe Kalimantan. Let's see where it ends up being and how they play the round. We're in moving, so let's see if they move. Looking around, we're seeing tropical vegetation. Kind of an interesting place to stop panning, but maybe they're just looking at the vegetation. Yeah, this is a little bit of a strange place to be focusing on. They're zooming into Sumatra. Could be Sumatra. I didn't initially think it was, but it definitely could be. Okay. They're picking a town here. And they get the right town, or close to the right town. It's a very impressive guess. I'm not sure what to think about this one. I think either this person is significantly better than me, or they use the script. And I think it is possible that they're just better than me. This is not a guess that I could have made with this information, I don't think. Maybe if I got very lucky. I think the only thing that's suspicious about this is that they look forward and they kind of just pan over to this area, which doesn't really seem to have any extra information. And then they plonk. And it's a nice guess. I think this person probably scripted, but I don't think this is conclusive. I think some exonerating evidence here is that they kind of clicked the middle of this town. So it's possible they just picked a town. Well, I don't know. Unfortunately, I do think if this person was scripting, then this isn't really proof of that, because this could just be a nice guess. So on this one, I'm gonna have to say insufficient evidence of scripting, and I don't think they Googled. Next one. Okay, we're back in moving, and right away you can tell this is Mexico with the octagonal pole. I would guess this is pretty far south given the vegetation. I don't think it's quite on the peninsula, on Yucatan Peninsula. I think it's probably deep South Mexico, but not quite on the peninsula. Let's see how they handled around. Looking around a little bit. Yeah, lots of tropical vegetation. Let's see if they get any information here. Looking at the name of the town, I assume, or something on the water tower. Let's see. Water towers can be very helpful. Conagua is probably the utility company or whatever. So I don't think that's going to be too useful. And the rest of it looked too blurry, so I don't think they could have seen it. Let's see what they, okay, that could have, let's see, would that ambulance have any good info on it? This ambulance probably says the name of the state or the city somewhere. They don't really stop on it too long though. So I'm not sure if they would have had time to read it. Okay, let's see what this sign says. Ah, Campeche. So there you go. So that's the name of the state. This already is enough information to make a really excellent guess. Yeah, and they're zooming in right now to the wrong country. They're looking at Uruguay, which is interesting. Okay, so they're gonna go back and look for more information. So maybe they don't know Campeche, or they haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen anything too suspicious yet. They haven't stopped on any of these signs long enough to Google. If they do figure out the country, then Campeche is gonna be pretty easy to find. Still looking around, oh, the cactus is useful there too. You're not gonna see that as much in some other tropical places. Yeah, these are kind of American style cars, so you're not gonna be in Southeast Asia or anything like that. We have the circular electricity counter. That's actually a fun clue. Yeah, this electricity counter over here on the right, that's circular, is not quite exclusive to Mexico, but is very common in Mexico and is useful for distinguishing it between some other countries. Doesn't look like this player zoomed in on that though. Okay, now they are switching over to, and they see Campeche there. I don't think this is too suspicious. I mean, that's a nice plonk. And I think that, honestly, this is just a nice guess. And the reason I think that is because they clicked right where it says Campeche and it just happened to be there. If they had, gotten so close, like right on the border or something, I would have thought that was a little bit more suspicious. But given that they kind of see the name of the state and then they click where it says the name of the state, that's basically exactly what I would have done, and I think a lot of players would have done. And in this case, I think they just got lucky that the actual location was right where it said Campeche. So on this one, I'm going to say not guilty. All right, this one, we already have English on signs. We have yellow backplates, so this should be the UK. And we're in no move, so let's see what the player does. They're zooming into the sign. Don't think there's any info on it necessarily. Goldstone Retail Park might be findable, but not sure exactly what city I think this is. Don't think it's London. I would think more central. Ooh, they are now not moving anymore. Let's see how long they... Okay, now they're back. South Coast. I didn't think right off the bat this would be South Coast, but could be. Looking around a little bit more, yeah, we see the no parking lines, which are exclusive to the UK and Singapore. And Ireland as well has them. Yeah, looking around a little bit more. There's lots of information you could Google here. Yeah. How close? Yeah, there's Goldstone. Yeah, they Googled that, I think. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let me just see how long that they were looking at those. Yeah, this is another example where they click on the correct town without actually seeing the name of the town anywhere, as far as I can tell. Maybe it was on this sign. Yeah, I didn't see the name of the town anywhere. They zoom right into it. I think the only way that somebody could very quickly find this particular town and this particular shopping center, which they do find here in a second, is if they were from here or if they had been here before, or if they Googled. Yeah, I don't see the name of that town anywhere in the round. I don't think that... It doesn't look like this is quite a famous enough place that like you would know it if you weren't from here. If I was able to see that this person was from the UK, then I would feel like this is possible. If they were maybe from this town or had visited this town. But given that I don't know that, and it looks very suspicious the way that they kind of click right on the shopping center, even from a pretty high zoom level, they're already on. Yeah, so another great example of one where they're clicked right here. Shopping center is right down here, but you can't actually see it on the map. So all of the information that they have isn't on the map. So it's like, how did they know that it was right there unless they Googled? So on this one, I am going to say that they Googled. Don't think they scripted. Okay, this one looks like a European sized road. We have a wooden pole, I believe. We're in no move. Let's see what they do. Is that a yellow backplate? Looked like it might've been. This might be the UK again. Yeah, looks like the UK. This kind of agriculture. Northern Ireland, interesting. Ooh, it's a nice guess. So, I mean, I'm noticing that there's not enough information to Google here. So in this case, I think we're just looking for scripting. I don't think that a Northern Ireland guess is too crazy here. I think that's totally possible to get. And it looks a lot like Ireland, but then we have the yellow backplate, so it has to be Northern Ireland rather than the Republic of Ireland. I'm not quite familiar enough with Northern Ireland to know if this is a distinctive region. I see that they're zooming in on this mountain to the southeast. So they see that there's hills to the southeast, and they click an area that has hills to the southeast. I think this is another case of just a really nice guess. It's maybe possible that they were cheating here, but personally, I don't think that this is enough evidence to say that they definitively were. So in this case, we're gonna go for not enough evidence and not guilty on Googling. Okay, this looks like the US to me. Let's see, can't quite see the number plates. We're in no move. Let's see if they zoom in on anything. Cambridge Street. Yeah, not sure exactly where I think this one is. They're looking for clues, zooming around. Don't see the name of the town anywhere. Ah, interesting. Yeah, don't think this sign would help you unless you were Googling. This looks like it's probably a local election. Looks like it might actually be Canada here. So they go Winnipeg, and it is Winnipeg. Yeah, this is a little suspicious. So they're looking around, I think, fairly normally, looking at street signs, stuff like that. But then they stop on this sign. And this is not a clue that I think is actually useful in the traditional GeoGuessr context. It's just the name of a candidate, probably a local election. And then they look at it for so long, I think this is probably enough time to switch to another tab, look that up, and see that it is a candidate that's running for a seat in Winnipeg. Let me actually just check that really quick. Yeah, I mean, look how quick that comes up, right? So this is all the information you would need, and then you could just switch back and make the guess. Yeah, I think actually that was definitely enough time to Google that. And given how quickly Winnipeg came up in the Google search there, I think it's fairly certain that they Googled this, found out that it was Winnipeg. So in this case, I'm going to say that they are guilty of Googling. Let's do one more. Okay, this one right off the bat is India with the crappy camera quality. We have the wide blur at the bottom. Looks like traditional Indian outfit. We have the water tank on top of the building, which I think is useful, but I'm not too familiar with it. Tuk-tuk over on the left. Okay, we're in no move, so let's see if they look around at all. We have some language, which is useful. Zooming in really quick. Going northern India. Yeah, that is actually a pretty fine guess, I think. Yeah, so the big clue here is that they look and they see this language, which has the bar on the top. And the bar on the top is going to be much more common in northern India. You can actually see, I'll just show you on the map really quick, that if you look at the place names here, the ones that have a bar on the top kind of start about halfway up the country and are much more common up here. So you can see it ends up being a place that has a bar at the top. They click another place that has a bar at the top. And, you know, they don't click down here where, for example, in Tamil Nadu, they have this different script, Tamil, I believe. And yeah, like that's basically exactly the guess that I would have made. They click right in the center of the country, which is a good hedge. They didn't go too far east or too far west. And they saw the bar at the top, so they know that they can go north. I think that if you didn't know about the crappy camera quality and you didn't know about the language, then this guess might look suspicious because of how quickly they got that. But I think that even with just a little bit of GeoGuessr experience, this is a pretty standard guess. So I'd say they are innocent. Thanks for watching. I really enjoyed that again, and I'll see you next time.